Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're on to Austin, one of the Kringle economic developers within our Kringle Private Society. Welcome to a brand new Tuesday, and today I'm here to give us some very quick updates about the Kringle community and my progress thus far within our Kringle Private Society. And the title of my broadcast for today is On the Job as an Economic Developer in the Kringle Private Society. A whole lot is actually going on at the moment, and I'll do my best to share the little that I can. And just for you to know, sorry about the little network issue. I think network now has been restored back to normal. So back to what I was saying. I'm doing my part to make sure that I bring in as many merchants as possible, and it's actually something that is very, very adventurous. Adventurous because you are able to liaise, you are able to negotiate, you're able to interact with a good number of people, and then know how well they are able to embrace the system. And it's actually becoming more and more interesting. So I'm going to quickly give us a quick update about the community generally, and then go into my own part as an economic developer. Now I'm looking at making sure that I raise my influence level by interacting with as many merchants as possible, not just interacting with as many merchants as possible, but being able to impact their business for good. That's why I'm an economic developer. They are doing their business, they are making good money, they are making good returns on their business. I want to make sure that apart from what they are doing, I'm also going to give value to their own business by interacting with them as a member within our Kringle Private Society. Of course, they also have to be members within this Kringle Private Society for them to benefit from what I am going to offer them. And then over time, they will come to understand that their own financial medium of exchange or their fiat-based system is not as profitable as the Kringle Private Society, and how they're able to get enough returns. Because shortly, the food subsidy centers will fill the whole earth, and it becomes easy for people to interact using Kringles as a private medium of exchange. Whether you are a billionaire or a millionaire or a starter, it's going to happen over time. But at this point, we are feeling the peak, the top of the Kringle Private Society. That's the first thing we'll do. And then over time, we'll now settle down to interact and help the millionaires. And then that way, we create synergy. And then much more later, we bring in employees. And then the employees are paid in full 100% Kringle coins. Now, I think I've just laid a bit of groundwork or a kind of prelude. So let me share my screen now, and let's talk about a few things. All right, now my screen is being shared. First of all, I want to say that the race for the distribution is still on. I mean, to gather as many coins as possible is still on. Now, these are TBC coins. These ones, after the decimal point to the right, are Kringle coins. And I earlier on said in my broadcast that once it gets to 500 million, the TBC billionaires will stop earning TBCs. It now becomes 500 million to be distributed into 1.1 billion active members. These are going to be the millionaires that will be coming in. And Now, I'll quickly go into a prediction I made. Now, that prediction fortunately was put down by the administration of the Kringle Society. I made some predictions, and these were the predictions I made. Now, this is my predictions for this month of June 2021. And I said, as at the time I made that broadcast, we had 231. Now, I also said that by 13th, we'll be having 245. But to my amazement, the Kringle Society has exceeded my expectations and, in fact, has made my predictions inferior. You know, you guys are doing great. I must say, you guys are doing excellently well. Quickly, let's go into our Kringle Cash, where this was my prediction as at 13th. Today's date is 8th. That's 2 days after I did this broadcast, and we are way over 245. So let's quickly go back. And if you go back, you'll find out that this is our number. This is 248 out of 500. 248 out of 500. Now, my predictions were about 245. So they have already exceeded my predictions, which is an excellent one. I am not going to change this. I'll continue to observe to see how it's going to be. Now, based on this present playout on the in the Kringle Society, it simply means that before we get to 20th, this should have become 350 or more, you know. So if you would permit me, I'll also put in some other predictions based on the present one. Now, if we are 248 at the moment, then let me magnify it so that people can see. All right. Now, if we are 248 at the moment, that is as at the month of 8, as at the month of 8. Okay. Sorry about that. Network has just been unfriendly this morning, So quickly, I'll return back to where I was. Sorry about the interruption. So I was sharing my screen, and let me continue from where I stopped. All right, my screen is now being shared. Now, I was talking about, I don't actually know where I stopped, but then I talked about how well we've been doing. I talked about predictions. Now, this was my former predictions, and I found out that as at um, as at 8, we had already had 248. So I made a new prediction, and this prediction actually I'm going to observe because the TBC community are exceeding my expectations, and I think it's a good one. It's something to give a congratulatory message to people who are helping to make the TBC community successful. I also said that long term, the mass adoption team, which will comprise of 111,111, are going to be the anchors in our Kringle society, and they are expected to make a yearly subscription so that they can be able to accommodate the 1,000 food subsidy centers that will be in existence in another 1 year or thereabout from now. So those of us who are willing to be long-term developers in the community, be willing to become an economic developer, paying a yearly subscription fee. Who are the economic developers? From my experience, my own testimony today, you have a better understanding of what economic or who economic developers are. I've been making every effort possible to make sure that I bring in as many merchants to the community. And in this side of the world, which is Nigeria, we are still getting to terms with all these systems. And somehow I was able to bring in a merchant. Now, that merchant is actually a professor, and he works in one of the universities. For those of us in Nigeria, I'm sure you should know Zaria. I think ABU Zaria. Yes, ABU Zaria. That's I think Amadu Bello University Zaria. That's the full meaning. Yeah. So he actually got in touch with me. He was like, I actually like the way you speak because I do take part in the meetings. And the meetings are quite enlightening. And I do listen to how you make contributions. Your contributions are very reasonable. And I want to see how you can help me to understand the system very well. Now, I am actually an economic developer. Economic developers can be likened to be consultants. Now, in our Kringle private society, those who are economic developers, in the reality, they can be likened to be a helper. Yeah, you can liken them to be a helper. Now we can picture it in the area of getting married. You have a man and you have a wife. Now the man is expected to have something doing. Now that's why he's a merchant. He should have something doing, and he's actually getting rewards. He's actually being paid, or he's actually rendering service for something he's doing. Now, a helper helps him to amplify his business so that he makes much more money than he used to make before. That's an economic developer. So, in the area of marriage, a man is there and a helper is able to help him to explore and make much more returns to the point where he becomes completely dependent on his economic developer so that his helper will continue to help him make more money and he's happy. So it is expected that this economic development that you will bring into the community will be long term as an economic developer. Beware, it's something that you should be able to build synergy with your merchants and become so invaluable that they can't do without you. Of course, that means you should bring value to them. So I was able to bring in my first economic developer yesterday, and it's actually something I'm very excited about. So I have to come here to to explain, to give a shout out to everyone. If you are a merchant, who are merchants? Merchants are people who render service to the community. You could be a lecturer, you are a merchant. You could be someone that sells provisions, you are a merchant. You could be a banker, you are a merchant. You could be anything. You could be someone that is serving coffee and anything. You are someone that renders service, a merchant. Now, we are looking for merchants that are accessible, not merchants that are under the corporate environment. Now, when you talk about a corporate environment, you're talking about in an organization where there are board of directors, and then before you even do anything, you must have a meeting, you must consult, and all those protocols upon protocols. No, we're looking at small scale members or small scale merchants, those who are medium scale merchants, small scale merchants, or semi large merchants, not merchants that are associated with the elites. I'm talking of merchants like our corporations. There are corporations where if you want to come close to them, you will find out that our interest and our goal to alleviate mankind from the shackles of poverty will be in contradiction to their original agenda, because they are directly under the elite controlled system. So they will say no, they will decline. So we are looking for merchants who render services to humanity. These are the kind of people we are looking for. So somehow, as I kept making efforts, I brought in one merchant. Now, I'm going to bring in a second merchant very soon. Hopefully before this week runs out, all things being equal. I bring two, I bring three, I bring four. Now I'm supposed to render service to them. If I am not rendering reasonable service to them, well, they have every right to contract to cut off the contract that is existing between I and them. It is expected that between this particular date to the next 1 month, which is this particular date, I am supposed to have brought in reasonable value to them. And if I do not do that, well, I think they have every right to say, I'm sorry, I can't continue with this agreement. It doesn't profit me as it should, you know. So they are not actually making any efforts. The only effort they are making as merchants is to use their QR code to bring in customers. In fact, even though they don't use their QR code, at this point, this person is a lecturer. Now, as a lecturer, his only responsibility is to tell his students or to tell his friends, his fellow colleagues, whoever it is, you just channel them to me. Let me do the bulk of the heavy lifting for them or for him. And then over time, it becomes a chain of lecturers who are also members of the community, because I trust my guts and my confidence in the community to be able to address them and be able to seal the deals or to close in deals for them. That's an economic developer. If you are not at that level, well, I do not know if you're qualified to be an economic developer. But the idea of an economic developer is to be able to close deals. It doesn't matter who they are. Now, I am not a lecturer, but then I have experience, vast experience. Now, there is a system of the world which we have always been used to, and there is a system that is not associated with the world, which is private, as the Kringle Private Society. So whoever you are, when you come into this system, you may need to humble yourself and allow those who have much more experience than you to educate you, to teach you, to groom you until you are now very well informed. So that's exactly what we are doing. It's one step at a time. Now, that said, let's go into view so that you see a few things that you may need to know. Now, this is the my partner at this point. You know, I will have so many partners because I'm going to give value to them. Now, this person is a professor in ABU Zaria, and these are his phone numbers. He has an email address. I can easily reach out to him. And then he also has a phone number, which I also use to reach out to him. He's on the Billionaire program, you know, and he's from Nigeria. He has two particular phone numbers. Okay, it's the same phone number. And what are my responsibilities to him? Now, let's go into view referrals. These are his referrals. And it's taking a while to load. I don't know why it's taking a while. Okay, let me check again. The referral should show all his down lines. I don't know why it's actually taking a while. No, it's actually taking some. I don't know if it's my network. Let me refresh the page one more time. Now, when I make use of it on my phone, it actually shows. I don't know why it's not showing now. Now, when I looked at it through my phone, I saw all his downlines. That was what I saw. And all those downlines, it is my responsibility to bring them back in. I am supposed to follow up on them to make sure that they become members again. They are already members, but they are redundant. They don't even understand the purpose of TBC. I am the one to tell them what the purpose of TBC is and how they should become active members. And one of the benefits they stand to gain is the rotator that we're going to get, and how they should be able to gain enough global influence as a billionaire, because billionaires will only be 1 million. Now, there is already a well detailed slide to tell them how these things are going to benefit them. I'm surprised that the view referrals are not showing. I really do not know why it's doing so. Maybe I'll try it out from another dimension. I don't know, but then let me try it out from another dimension. I may need to register again. So do permit me. Let me register again. Possibly it's the browser. I really want to show everyone this because there is so many things.
Hello again. Regardless if this is your first time.
There is so many things that I want everyone that are listening or that will listen to benefit, you know. So in a short while, I should be able to log in. Okay, now. All right, so I'm using this particular one now to check it out. Under partnership. Okay, now I click on view. Let me see whether it goes through this time. Okay, I think this one is a bit more beautiful. So it was actually an error from that browser. Now looking at this particular one, these are the usernames of this person. He only has about 11 of them. Now, it's my responsibility as an economic developer to reach out to them one by one. They have phone numbers, the dates they joined, their payment status. When you look through, you see none of them has actually made any payment. If I'm not able to close deals on these ones, then I can say that I have failed as an economic developer. I must give reason for this merchant to be happy keeping me, even though I'm not able to close all the 11. At least I should be able to close nothing less than 5 of them. It's a skill that should be acquired. If you don't acquire that skill, well, I don't know. If I don't make use of phone numbers, I should use email address. Like this one that doesn't have a phone number, I should use an email. Now, if I'm able to do my homework very well, then I should be able to close these deals. And they too should be able to come back, not as members, but then as billionaire members, not just ordinary members. So these are the responsibilities that is required of you being an economic developer. It's actually a work. One thing you should bear in mind is over time, as the community grows, expands, you'll find out that this is going to be one of the most lucrative jobs that anyone will ever want to involve in. It is actually a full-time job. For now, I am not fully into TBC 100%, but over time, I will become like Bederick. Bederick is someone that is giving to 100% in the TBC community. When I find out that the TBC community is of more value to me compared to the work I'm presently doing, I'm looking at when on a monthly basis, I'm getting within $500 to $1 million on a monthly basis. Now, that is something I have to build this year. It's my responsibility as an economic developer to keep working, creating synergy and partnership with as many merchants so that every day I will be renewing contracts. I'll be renewing contracts every month, so that every month when I give value to them, then they renew my contract. Over time, it will become so cumbersome for me to accommodate. I would need to employ staff, train those staffs and let them start doing it. It's all about educating and replicating this whole process. So I think I've been able to explain a whole lot. So I wouldn't want to belabor the whole point. I believe you understood me if you are listening to me. So I'll stop at this point. And if there is any question, if you are not yet a member in our Kringle Society, I think the opportunity is now. Between now and the end of this month, it's very obvious. It will sound funny, but we're likely going to fill out the core team this particular month. There is a whole lot of people that are building to make sure that this becomes a success. I am also going to be in that perspective, in that area where I would employ and then make things happen, especially merchants. Merchants are the people that my head is actually going out for. And trust me, I'm going to bring in as many merchants as possible. It doesn't matter wherever you are, whether you are an African country or an Asian country or a Western country. The point is the fee that is required of you is a very, very meager fee. If you put your mind to it, you can succeed. All right, I think I'll stop at this point. I wouldn't want to say so much, but most likely I'll be coming about again tomorrow, and then I'll be giving what you call progress reports on how well I'm successful. And as I do so, I believe you'll be listening. If you are a merchant, you want to understand how to make money on TBC, I'm giving out a call to you. Come, send a message to me. My WhatsApp line is below this YouTube video. Reach out to me. I can help you. Okay? All right. That said, it's only one person watching at the moment. Now, I want to say something. And for some time now, this particular individual has actually been, I don't know what, trolling me. I think I'll call it a troll. Now, what do people gain when they troll people? I really do not know what people gain when they troll people. I really do not know why people choose to be irresponsible. Irresponsible means you are seeing a responsibility and you are willfully ignorant to that responsibility. If you do not want to follow up a system, why not be silent? Each time I make videos, this individual comes in to constitute nuisance. And if this person is discovered, I want you to understand that the punishment will be removal from the community, because one of the things that the administration says is negativity is not allowed. If you do not agree, silence is what matters. Be quiet and watch how we build our community into a billion status. But I do not understand why someone would come forth and say wicked TBC admin. I do not know if you're referring to me as an individual, as a co-administration, or you're referring to the person who is in charge of overseeing the affairs of the Kringle Society. Please consider your ways. If you choose to be irresponsible, that's okay, but do not transfer your negative attitude to people who make broadcasts. These things are becoming so unbecoming. It's not supposed to be. So please desist from this. We love and respect you. And I do not know why you choose to respond in a way that is not friendly. Please desist from such attitude. I want to stop at this point, and I hope we share this video to as many people who are willing to watch with us. Till I come away again, hopefully by tomorrow. Cheers, and do have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye for now.